Senior Life Journeys presents Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia, a podcast designed to help caregivers find knowledge, power, hope, and smiles in their dementia caregiving journey. Welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. Here is your host, best-selling author, Carol Howell.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Carol Howell with Let's Talk Dementia, and I'm glad you've chosen to join me. As I sit here recording this episode, I realize I've got readers around my neck and readers on my head. I've got readers all over my house, yet do you think I know where they are when I need them? No. And then I take my readers off and I can't find my regular glasses. Do you guys have these problems? Well, today I wanted to share with you a question that came from Janice Smith. Janice is caring for her stepdad who is 100 years old. Amazing, isn't it? I have a client who is 107, I believe, and she, a couple years ago, told me she was going to get married. I'm like, hey, go for it. Who am I to say, right? She did not get married. But Janice is asking about when it is time to move from traditional underclothing, undergarments, and in this case, boxer shorts for her stepdad and change them into Depends, right? When it's time to make that move. And she was expressing to me her frustration because her dad, whose name is John, I believe John, he urinates all over everything, and all the woman does is wash clothes. She washes underwear, she washes clothing, she washes bedding, she washes sheets, she washes pillows, she washes chair covers, she washes stuff all the time. And her big frustration that brought about the email and a phone conversation we had came when, in the midst of all of this, washing and drying, her dryer died. You know, and sometimes you just reach your point, don't you? You know, I think it's interesting how in our lives, the great big things we seem to manage, it's the minutia of the day, the little things that sometimes will just put us right over the edge. And for her, she kind of reached that when she called me. And she said, how do I know when it is time for him to start using Depends? And I said, well, the answer is now. Thank you for calling. Goodbye. And she just laughed. I'm like, this is, no big hairy deal. Just make it happen. I remember when it was time for my mama to move from her underwear, from her panties into Depends, pull-up type products. I was really concerned about that, just like Janice was. Because my mama had her underwear sent from a store in Washington State. And my mama lived in South Carolina. She loved her underwear. And she would talk about how they're the most wonderful thing she ever worn. And I thought, uh-oh, if we take these away and we give mama these pull-ups, which aren't pretty, they're just not. Now, they're better than they used to be, and you can even get them in colors. But they're still not my mama's comfortable underwear. She is going to not be happy. Well, Mama couldn't have cared less. She just transitioned right into them as if it was nothing. I'm still sort of shocked about that. So I told Janice this very well may be the same type thing with John. I did recommend her going ahead and removing from the house all of his boxer shorts. Two reasons for that. One, John won't find them and put them on. And two, Janice won't just give up and say, just forget it. You can wear whatever you want to. I'm just frustrated with you. Because they're gone. She won't have any. It's kind of like when you're potty training your kids, You got rid of all the diapers, so they had to use the bathroom, and you had to help them learn it because you've already gotten rid of all the diapers. Understand that. But I told her, I said, I doubt it's going to be as big of a deal as you thought, or as you're imagining it to be. And you know what? She's since written me back, and he was fine with it. He was like, well, whatever. I can do that. That's fine. And it does cut down on the number of loads of laundry the poor woman's got to do all the time. And we have to think about things like that. I told her also to consider the blue pads that you can put under them while they're lying on the bed. You can either put it directly underneath them and they're absorbent, or underneath the sheet to hold it in place. I know most places do that, I think, directly underneath the sheet where it separates the sheet from the mattress. So then the only thing that you would have to wash would be the fitted sheet. You can get those blue pads that are disposable, or you can get the kind that you wash. But then again, you're back to washing a bunch of stuff, and that's not so much fun. One thing I do recommend is if you're buying pull-ups for a male, buy the kind made for men, because where the urine comes out in a male is in a different position than it is on a female. Like you didn't know this already, but if you're going to buy pull-ups, you might not think about it. So with a male, that's thicker up near the front. For a female, it's thicker down near the back because of where the urine's going to come out. It's just going to work better. So buy male products for males, female products for females. Neither the two shall mix. So she did that. She also wrote me that she had another item she wanted to discuss. And I was like happy to read it. And she said, John has a boo-boo under his nose, above his lip there, that he picks at all the time, and she cannot get it to heal up. She tried putting a Band-Aid on it. She's tried doing everything she knows, reminding John, quit picking at it. But she doesn't keep her eyeballs on John 24/7. And just as soon as she's not looking, you know what he does. Sure enough, yep, he takes the scab right off of that boo-boo. And it's not very attractive, and it's kind of embarrassing when you go out in public. But what are you going to do about it? Well, my thought for her is this: get it checked. Let's make sure we don't have some infection going on there, that there's not something that we need to be treating, that it needs some kind of medication or some action taken. And if everything is okay, then maybe just back off a little bit. And every time John goes to pick on it, remind him not to, but don't stop there. Take that next sentence to be something like, hey, John, how about we do this instead? So we've taken John's hands from picking on this thing on his lip. Now we're going to take those hands and do something different to keep his hands busy and take his mind off of his lip. She's not going to be able to do that every time. And you have to recognize that you just have certain capabilities within yourself. There are things we can change in our world. There are things we cannot change. Are we learning that more so right now in the midst of coronavirus than ever before? And it's true in caregiving. So we have to kind of take a chill pill sometimes and choose our battles. And so that was my advice for Miss Janice. And I would love to hear from you. I am offering free 30-minute phone consultations. They don't cost you a dime. I promise you they don't cost you a dime. You just need to go to letstalkdementia.org and click on calendar events. I have put up some dates for the next, I think, week or two, and you can click on the day and the time that works for you, and you'll have instructions there to email me your phone number, and I will call you on the day and the time you selected, and we'll talk about what's going on in your caregiving world. Maybe you just want to share your frustration, or maybe you have a question, or maybe you have a story. Just call me. I love having the conversations, and hey, I need that interaction too, because you know what? I'm quarantined too. My husband, I know he's tired of looking at me. Well, I want you guys to be very safe, and I want you to, when you think about, you need to go out for something, to think about this. Do I need it enough to risk my life and others? I don't care what it is, unless it's medication and you can have that delivered. Don't go out. Just don't. You don't need whatever it is that bad. My daughter and I had decided that for Easter Sunday, since we can't be together, she would cook a meal and she would cook part of the meal and I would cook the other part of the meal, and we would leave it on each other's doorsteps so we'd have a regular Easter dinner. That meant I needed to go to the grocery store probably today or tomorrow and get a ham, which P.S. I do not eat, but my son-in-law and my daughter and my husband like. And I was going to go out just for the ham. And I told my husband, that's just dumb. We do not need a ham bad enough to risk getting coronavirus and dying. No, especially for this girl that don't even eat ham. So what I'm thinking about doing is placing my monthly order of groceries through the delivery service. I use Instacart. And if they have a ham, I'll get the ham. If they don't have the ham, Carol's not going to go out and buy one. I'm just not. We don't do that. Be safe. Don't spread what you've got, and don't be in a place where you can get what someone else has. And let's stop this whole situation in our world by being responsible. All right. I hope you smile a lot. I hope in the process of all that's going on in our world, you remember you will come through this. We all will come through this. And life's going to be different, but life will still be good. God's still going to be with us. Hadn't left us, never will. Blessings and smiles.
Let's Talk Dementia would like to thank our sponsors, National Association of Veterans and Families. You can reach them at 800-352-2919, on the internet at www.navf.org. They speak veterans so you don't have to, and you tell them Carol sent you when you call to inquire about benefits for the veteran, the spouse of the veteran, or both. Editor Beth. You can find Ms. Beth Crosby at editorbeth.com. She is amazing at looking at what you've written and making sure it represents you well. Find her at www.editorbeth.com. And HD Imports, located on Flint Street Extension in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's York County. 803-985-0985. They are there for the repair and maintenance of your Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, Kia. Tell them Carol sent you.
Thanks for joining us today for Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia. To learn more about dementia, we recommend Carol's best-selling book, also titled Let's Talk Dementia. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. Be sure to like Let's Talk Dementia on Facebook and leave us a kind word of review on iTunes. Remember, knowledge brings power. Power brings hope. Hope brings smiles. And we all need more smiles. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll be right here when you come back to Let's Talk Dementia.